Good morning. I'm just trying to figure out what my what my situation is here, and what's working and what's not. So it's always something. I do have a couple extra lights on that are probably throwing everything off. So that is one of the drawbacks to all this. Okay, when the daylight comes in, it starts blasting away, and my camera's all in the way. So let's see if I can get things a little bit more situated here. Close enough. All right. So the figures you saw at the beginning there would be the ones I'm going to be working on, mostly. I'm just trying to set up my. I know, you kind of set all the stuff up in advance. I know. I am notoriously bad at getting everything fully set up before I start the stream. And I think, I don't know, I can't say I'm really on all that often when other people start their streams any more than others are on when I start mine. So I can't really say what's normal, but as you can see, my paints here are kind of dry. I'm trying to see if there's actually, yep, see, if it doesn't actually have any extra, that means the sponge here is not actually all that wet. Oops. So we got a little too much in the on the palette there. I don't want the palette to push its water into into the rest of it, so I'm gonna have to suck some of that back up. It's better. All right. So, what did I work on last time? I was working on this crab guy. You can see I pulled off his tape, and he has these little waves on the tape. So I don't know how that happened, but probably from moving the tape or the tape collapsing or whatever. So I'm probably gonna have to cut some of that off. I think it's probably a bit more than I wanted. I think it's kind of cool, but there's a limit, you know? I have to scissors it. I mean, it'll cut. It's just, this is not the most. Cutting with the razor is just not that sharp, not that great. This stuff is interesting though. It's like rubber. Once it dries, it's just this weird, hard rubber kind of stuff. But, anyway. All right, so I got a couple things on the docket today. Hopefully I'll be able to get some painting done here, and then I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna try and do a Frosthaven scenario, which is gonna be tricky because I don't have it set up yet, and timing is gonna be an issue. So I may not have all that much time. One, if I'm gonna do the other. Okay, so let's. Who wants to get some paint? I would really like to try to get Adrian or Royce pretty a little closer to finished. She could use some more. I could probably color her fur a bit more. Trying to determine where her focal point is. Well, it ain't up here. It's way down here. That's probably kind of low. Let's fix that. There you go. How about that? That's a little better. Yeah, I can hold that. All right. So her fur, she's got like a kind of like a fox pelt over her shoulders. Sadly, I don't remember what I used to do her fur in the first place. So there's that. I don't want to. I think it was a contrast of some kind. Human flesh? Nope, probably not that one. I really need to learn to take notes. that's like it's one of my big flaws. I don't take notes, and then when I come back to paint something, I'm like, what color was this again? What was I doing again? Anybody out there? Somebody? So I have this werewolf brown, but I think it's too brown. I don't think that's the color I want. I think, yeah. Green? No. Gray? Maybe. Leviathan tan. What do we got here? Kraken skin. I don't have any idea what that color is. Green. There's another brown. Demon brown. Violetta. A violet. Green. Dark Angel's green. Shadow black skin. Golem gray skin. Nothing like. I got this camera right in my face. I don't know what to do. Sorry, I can't do too much with it. It is what it is, right? So, at the very least, I can maybe move the camera to the side there. I mean, not that, I got a good-looking mug and all, but covered up with weird magnifying glasses. It's probably not going to be quite the exciting view. All right. Let's get something on. Let's get some paint flopped on. I got this camera so low, I'm smacking my head on it. It's probably not too good. It's weird. It's like that's not even really a fox. It's like, I don't know, like a face looks like a platypus face on whatever this thing is that's over her head. Or her. Doesn't really have. It's got a head like it's some kind of weird being creature. She's got folded over her shoulders. try and call out her. Try and call out her fur here a little bit more. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do Frosthaven, another scenario here, probably in a couple hours. And so yeah, I'll be changing my stream at that point. I mean, I won't leave it as is. So I won't. So I'll have to stop it and start it. You can always do the transitional thing, but then it just ends up getting kind of sloppy, you know. Have all these partial mixes and partial things going on. It's like, what is he doing in this one? Then I have to take it and cut it up so that I can have them be separate, because you know there's just different tasks. You know, having I change a subject. It's time to change the stream. Using this contrast paint over the top just to kind of, well, provide some contrast. Get it to soak into the cracks and crevices of this character a little bit more. Get her fur to pop a little bit more. And hopefully just kind of make her look a little bit more contrasty. She's got decent contrast going on her right now. I just since I put it on the whatever that wolf thing was of hers, that thing around, or a fox fur thing around her neck, decided I would use this to kind of just amplify it, you know. No, I'm not big on just throwing washes down. I know some people are big and just throw the wash over there and it'll just make everything pop. And then sometimes it's like, well, if it's too much, you can always go back and clean it up. And it's like, well, that's true, but I'm kind of a why do I have to clean? Why do I want to clean it all up? If I can get it right or get it where I want it without cleaning it up. I mean, I probably will still have to, because anytime you put a wash on, it's not a guarantee that it's not going to just darken everything, or you're not going to get a little too much of what you put on there. So yeah, go through and you put just enough highlights and stuff to kind of call out the colors a bit. So she's got a lot of this fur on though. It's kind of goes all around. The thing goes all the way to the ground. I do gotta get more color around on her though, because she's definitely got a lot of stuff that's not even painted yet, much less me doing highlighty stuff like this. I just wanted to get that wolf thing covered on her, and in order to do that, I meant using this color that I'm using, because I don't remember what color I actually used the first time. And I didn't get the paint on, so now I'm putting this on to make sure that everything looks kind of uniform. Ultimately, you don't want like anything to look like you just missed it. You know, you don't want to just look like primer. Ow. That's what happens when you have the camera too close to your head. This is why I prefer DSLR, which you could actually put a few feet from your head, and I could have it like way up here, and it wouldn't even be anywhere near me, and it would still be able to have the same zoom level. This webcam can't do that. You can't get decent zoom on it. I mean, it has zoom, but it's just not great, and you have to be pretty close to get a decent shot. So sadly, here I am trying to not bang my head on the camera. Let's paint her tunic. Is that what that is? The thing that kind of hangs down around her waist? Is that a tunic? Her piece of cloth. And I did say I was going to put some, I like the color of her bird, but I was going to try to put something a little bit more speckled on it, like maybe some black spots or something, which is fine. Now on her character card, her bird has like symbols on it. This camera feels really low. I don't know where to put it, man. Really isn't a good. I don't know. I'm dealing with it. I'll just deal, but it's annoying. And where's the camera? I gotta put it way over there. Still pretty far off. It's like I have to be way over here, but yet. Oh, I can see it must be the angle it's coming in at. That's what the problem is. So I'm trying to paint this thing. I gotta decide what that's going to be. I guess I gotta paint her pants and ugh. I'm still trying to decide. I got a lot of things here that need color, and I hate going with always the same colors, you know. So it's like, gotta pick up colors that are more, I don't know, just more different. Let's go with a purple tone. That's a shade though. It's not even an ink. Probably don't want that. Let's go with an ink. Or a contrast paint or something like that. Here, Talisar Contrast Blue. Sure, I've already used this one too. Purple. Let's go purple. Purple's a color I haven't used in a while. So the only problem is when I did my what do they call it, like zenithal shading priming, zenithal priming. It's kind of speckly. So I don't know. This prime didn't go on very smoothly, so it looks kind of speckly. So you need to get a decent enough layer so the speckles vanish, which is fine. I need a pretty decent layer anyway, but it's just annoying. Does kind of have like a, it's like this thing is going all the way around her. It's just tricky to figure out where. It's definitely one of those things that covers up a lot of extra space. In other words, like if it was an actual figure, a lot of area that doesn't normally have stuff on it, but because of the way it comes out of the mold, it kind of had no choice. Just it couldn't like not put plastic in some areas. It's one of the drawbacks to injection molding. You're limited in where in how it can mold. So certain figures have to have like, you know, parts that are flat so that they can be pulled out of the mold. Then on top of it, the mold can't not put plastic in some areas because it's like behind it. So like this area between her legs where this would just normally be hanging down if it was a 3D printed, resin printed, it can't on here. It has no choice. It can't just hang down because there's going to have the gaps because it's got to have plastic to hold it in there. And that plastic that's there can't be easily removed, short of doing something like I sometimes will do, or I drill it out. But can't do that with this area between her, under her legs, and you can't really see that area very well. It's not likely to become an issue, but still, it's a thing. Kind of a no-no. This thing is on top of other things that still need to be painted, which is problematic because that means when I paint those other things, it's going to be kind of hard. I'm going to end up getting paint where I don't want it. Then I have to go back and repaint that area. All right, so let's paint her legs. don't need that. What other shades of brown have I got? Flat greens and tans and medium olive. I don't know what that color is. Medium olive, is that just green? Olive skin shadow. Bootstrap leather. I don't know what that is. Let's use bootstrap leather just because it's got a different name from stuff I've been using. And painter, I think I actually have one that might already be, oh, I guess this one is open. On the upside, this big old palette of mine, oh, squirting out ink or water, but it's not squirting out paint. I think it's settled and dried a little bit. My shaker, my massage gun is not down here, which I usually like to mix the paints with. So I'm just doing with my good old fashioned hand shaking. Hands got all weird. They get all dry out. When I made breakfast this morning and I washed my hands and cleaned up the kitchen so my wife didn't have to. I think I dried out my hands. Hate that feeling of just that dried out, crinkly feel. Hate it for years. Every time. Yeah. All right, better. All right, let's put this stuff on something, huh? Where is my little mixer spoon? Oh, right in front of me. Mix a spoon. Oh, is that paper? The paper getting weird on me? Hope not. Huh. It did. It tore. Nice. I tell you, I didn't know that stuff. That's kind of weird. It's not very durable. Huh. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So it's a weird, membrane. It's like there's water. Let's water through tears. That's not good. Not a fan of that. Trying to figure out where best. What straps she's got on here. Huh. You know what? Let's put it on Cesar. Cesar here is, like I said, he's my travel. He travels with the party. Doesn't actually take part in the fighting. He's a storyteller. It's there just to chronicle their events. Write them down for the sake of prosperity. Prosperity? No, posterity. That's that's what I'm looking for. Q&A was pretty fun with these new guys we've met. There was a Derek, a David, um, Daniel. There was a David. Yeah, that's right. There was a Daniel. Don't remember all of them though. Because there's quite a few people showed up, and I'm terrible with names, so it makes me probably not the most reliable person for remembering names. I know they say if you say it to yourself like 6 times, you'll remember, or you'll have a better chance of remembering. I don't know. Anytime you repeat stuff to yourself, you have a chance of remembering it. So that whole logic just is like, well, duh. But it doesn't. People just don't do it. You don't always remember it, and you gotta associate too. It's like, okay, I remember the names Derek, Daniel, and David. I don't remember who they belong to. So if I saw them again, I go, Derek, Daniel, David. They'd be like, John. It's like, don't. Yeah, that's what was my next choice. Oh, gee, gosh, dang it. This camera's gonna drive me nuts. Like, no, it's too much in my face. Problem is, too, the camera's in front of the arm, so I keep banging the arm. Like, I could probably rotate it in some way to at least put the arm behind it, so only the camera's out here, and then I'm only under the camera, which would probably make it a little easier not to ram my head into it constantly. See, I can't even avoid it, even when I'm like purposely trying not to be near it. Keep keep getting it. Is it still blurry? Still pretty blurry. What is the position this needs to be at? Nope, not there. It's about there, but then I need to bend over because the magnifying glass gets too far away and I can't see it because it just becomes a big blur. All right. So, I got distracted from Adrian. Started working on Cesar here. It's only because I had a color that I had poured that I couldn't put on Adrian. So I says, well, I wanted it to go on, so I put it on Cesar. And now I'm working on Cesar. And then I said, well, I'm working on Cesar. And I said, well, let's put this color on him. So I got totally distracted. So my bad. So Cesar needs his coat to be colored, though. I need to color his coat. I was going to do blue, I think. But I also wanted more yellow on his head because he's not really meant to be kind of just light green. Pretty sure I got yellow paint on me somewhere on that maneuver. That was probably not spectacular maneuver. I still haven't decided what color his eyes are going to be, or how I'm going to do his eyes. I could give him regular old white eyes with pupils, which is what I'm leaning towards, but because it'll give him more, I don't know, expressiveness. Is that what I'm going for? Getting yellow to be yellow, that's the fun. Probably should have done what I usually do, which is to base coat with like a brown color or a high pigmented light tan color that'll usually turn yellow really easily. This is not that, and I was hoping that I could do it over green, but no, you can't apparently. Apparently that is not going to happen. Again, I find myself holding on to his base rather than using my holder. I wonder if I was to go with like a... I don't know. It's not there yet, though. He's got quite the detailed jacket. It's got little stars around it. So let's go with, I want to just go get a blue color. Dark blue? No, that's probably too much. I was thinking lighter. True blue. true blue, because I'm going to go with, that's blue violet. Do I want blue violet? Nah. I don't think I really want to go reddish. Sky blue. I need a little contrast. True blue is kind of weird. It's got a weird, kind of almost a powdery look, so I'm trying not to use that one. I don't know what Andrea blue is. I don't know if I ever used Andrea blue. Try Andrea blue. Sure. Why not? If I don't like it, I can always add some shade of contrast or something. Darken it up. Back to Adrian in a moment here and get this guy, get Cesar's jacket painted here. Well, Andrea blue looks like it's purple. I mean, it's got purple in it. It's not just blue. So I'm not totally sure how I feel about that. Wasn't trying to go purple. It's kind of interesting. They actually went to the trouble, which I rarely see this, when they make things with wings, where they actually have the clothes appear to be, you know, custom for the bird, you know, so the wings can cut through the clothes. This one actually does that, which is interesting, because most of them will just say, well, the wings are just sitting on top of the coat or on top of the clothes, and it always looks kind of weird, or they have it just at the intersection point, and you're like, maybe there's a hole there, but you can't be sure because, you know, if the wings are covering it. I don't know. But this one, you can very clearly see that the material on this jacket is actually cut open so that his wings, they can fit through. So it's kind of interesting. I think that's kind of well thought out. I don't know how whether or not it would actually work or not. I mean, ultimately, if a winged creature could actually wear clothes like that, they would have to make them custom for the wings, right? Those clothes would have to be, they'd have to adjust for the wearer. Now, clothes with a big hole in the back might wear out pretty fast, even if they're designed for it, but still. I mean, I guess that's, I suppose women have clothes like that, right? They have those, what do you call them, the open backs or whatever, open back shirts of some kind. So, I say women, I know there's probably guys that wear them too, but they were designed, I think, originally with women in mind. But anyway, I don't know. It's an interesting color. What do I think of it? I don't know. Am I sold on it being my primary color here? Maybe not so much, but I don't know. It doesn't look terrible, I guess. Hmm. It's interesting trying to cover all these areas without going where you don't want to. Then you have to go back and touch it up so that you don't have paint where you don't want it. Alright, so I need a dark blue contrast paint, which I guess I'll go with the one I was using. No, that was purple though. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Telstar blue. Did I ever use that one? Sure, let's use that one. That might have been the one I used yesterday. I don't know. Getting confused on the colors I'm using, man. So this I'm just going to use on this this belt it has, and then I'm going to try, I say, to do some kind of a whitish overlay on it. We'll see. I just want this to kind of get into the cracks of what I'm painting. I'll try to have it call out the detail a little bit. Not as much detail on the back part though. You can't see the little snowflakes as much, or star shapes. But I gotta be consistent with the color locations. Still haven't painted his pants. Oh, I wonder if his pants should be the same color. Nah. Oh, I just give him brown pants or something. Classic. Guess I'll paint the entire underside here blue, because I really don't know what to do with all that extra plastic, but I don't want it to be plastic colored. Don't have any idea what time it is. I've totally lost track of time, so I will have to ask Alexa in a minute. I have a watch on. I have a phone right here that I can look at, which tells me it's 12:15. Wow, that's not bad. And I thought it was late for some reason. I still can't go too long because, like I said, if I'm going to do my Frosthaven scenario, got to start kind of early because it's like 3 hours. So if I don't start by 1 o'clock, probably it's going to be hard pressed to get it done by 3:30, so I can go to the game night. Especially since I haven't done this scenario before, so it's going to be one that's kind of a little bit of learning, a little bit of, I have yet to ever win a scenario in one try. I have lost all of them and taken more than one, taken 2 to 12 tries. Yes, I said it, 2 to 12. Ouch. He's got a sword. Never seen him use it. He's not much of a sword master. He's more of a storyteller, not a fighter. Yeah, not terribly fond of this color, to be honest. I mean, not for this. I mean, I think it could work for other things, but for this guy, I'm not feeling it. I wonder if I was to add a little like, I don't know, green to it maybe? I don't have a lot of green as as far as inks go, I think. I got wildwood. Have no idea what wildwood is. I mean, it's, what is that? That's kind of a greenish, brownish color. It's wildwood. Still want more yellow in his head. I want his head to be mostly yellow, actually, but I'm having trouble getting a... Now, when they say shake, about 2 minutes is about the norm, but I can't do it for that long. I kind of drive myself crazy trying to shake things up for 2 minutes. I'm going to try and see if I can put a touch of this in my yellow, see if that'll have a higher pigment rate. Go, more, just kind of... Don't know if I want to mix it with that, though. Definitely more pale of a yellow. It's alright. I'm going to get a good coat of something on here that's going to be more accepting to my yellow. So when I get a little bit more yellow going, I'll just be more willing to turn. Just trying to see about seeing if I can using this lighter, more pale kind of fleshy color mixed with my yellow to see if I can get the yellow to pop a little more. Plus, put a better pigment base for that as I go. If I go with a more pure yellow afterwards, hopefully it'll absorb it better. Look more yellowy. Yellow is a tough color. You got to really get the right base underneath it to get it to show like you want it. I mean, it's starting to look a little more yellow, but not quite there. fleshy color yellow is taking over the whole thing. It's like it's moving in. But it is turning a little more yellow because it's absorbing some of the other yellow. Well, he's not fully where I wanted him to be, but he's getting there. He's getting there.
Do you have super glue there?
Do I have who?
Super glue?
Yeah, just a minute.
Watery.
Yeah, it's pretty thin. It's not the gel kind. Mm-hmm. Typically I buy the gel super glue because it's just more controllable. You can put it in different locations. You just more precise control. It's not going to just drip all over your other stuff. Just I can go put this. What was that? What just dripped down, man? Oh, I think that was the one I was using now. It's got this weird belt. Dude, what is the weirdness with this paint? It's weird. Weirdness going on, man. Don't know sometimes about. I'm still barely on the camera. Still don't know where I'm at. See, if I want to actually be under the camera, I'm like, really, my head has to be under the camera too. I don't like that. It's weird. I got this weird paper, like, it's driving me bonkers. I gotta move my bootstrap leather to another location. Got like a hole in my paper, which is a bummer. Now I'm gonna put some of the same strap leather on her, on his. Actually, I have 3 girls and 2 guys right now. I have Cesar, he's a guy. Royce is a guy, and then Cresseth, Adrian, and Tenya are all females. But that said, I don't always remember. I don't always refer to them correctly. Him, her. Now, Adrian can be a guy's name just as much as it can be a girl's. But in this case, it's a girl. Or she's a girl. Whatever. It would not be appropriate. Alright. Okay, so yeah. He's got some color. He's getting there. Still not a real big fan of the color I chose. It's just too purple. And I haven't put the white down on there. I haven't figured out how that's going to work yet. So that's a thing. But I am running out of time. 12:30. I gotta darken up his shirt. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't agree with the current coloring pattern that I created. I created this mess. I'm gonna change it. What color is this? White Scar. Eh. Is it better than whatever the heck this is? Matte white? The thing is, they're both going to be thick. And I'm a little concerned about that. I don't know if I can get... I don't know if I've ever gotten matte... I don't know if I've ever used matte white. Kind of what I thought. Yuck! As I thought, it came out all clumpy. What happens with these paints? Which means I'm not sure how much I trust myself with this paint. Because I can't really... What I wanted to do is kind of do a... dry brush, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Gosh dang it. Probably not the most effective at drawing out these stars in here, but I just want to get a little bit of white on the tops. Okay, so we'll get enough of this white on them. They're not going to be beautiful stars, unfortunately, because I'm just not that accurate. And then, for all it's worth, they don't actually do very well on the back. They don't even exist that well on the back. He's got a little bit of extra plastic underneath there, which I don't know if I'll deal with it or not, because sometimes I get annoyed by it, those little extras. Hmm. Do they look like stars? Not so much. They look, I don't know what they look like. Snow spots, flowers. I don't know what they look like. Probably should have done some other color. I don't know. Definitely need a more contrasty blue on him though. He's just, that blue's just not doing it for me. It's way too wonky. Just too purple. Too weird. Too weird for me, man. I am not gonna be able to tolerate it. So let's just get some blue. Let's get a layer of blue ink on there and see where that takes us. Blue ink kind of lets through other colors, so maybe it'll just darken it. We'll see. Well, this is definitely adding a shade of blue to it, but it's not really changing its color yet. This is too thin. As is the case with inks, they're often very thin and they let the other color through, so. Don't know, I was hoping it would kind of just sort of tint it towards blue more. It is, but still. Maybe not quite so much as I would like it to. Still just looking like a darker purple now. Oy, okay. Definitely kind of trying to push my time here because I do gotta get this scenario set up and stuff, so we'll see how well I go in getting this going. Well, I guess in the end it is looking a little better, a little less purple, but obviously, as with any ink, the more layers you put on, the more it starts to turn to the color of the ink. So more layers does equal eventually getting more what I'm looking for. Well, it's less purple. That's part of it. Was that enough for me to let it go? I don't know. But I have my ink here, so it'd be pretty easy to put more layers on it. Blew it up a little bit more. I should probably let that dry a little though. Interesting. His head is looking more yellow. It's not yellow, but it's more yellow. It's getting there. But Cesar is pretty good right now, so let's go ahead and put him back up on his little pedestal. And let's see, who else needs some paint? I don't know who's going on this next journey. Should I have Adrian and pick someone else again? Or should I go ahead and just let Royce and Adrian go on to the next one? That will be the big question of the moment. Do they stick together for another round? Alright, let's get a little more. Just do a little silver on her stabs a little bit. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with her other parts, but trying to. Other things I've already painted. Sometimes I gotta focus on those, get them fully covered up. Just putting this darker silver in between the spear tips. Just kind of help create some contrast. Amplifies them a little bit, accents them. All right. Yeah, I was gonna paint her legs. Trying to figure out what color brown I want to make them. I don't know if I want them a dark brown or light brown. I think I actually grabbed a whatever. Black and brown. That's really brown. Black and brown. I was thinking maybe more of a mahogany brown. Dang it, all these things always need to be poked. That's one of the things about using dropper bottles. The tip's pretty much always going to be dry. Just gotta. Don't need a ton, seeing as I'm gonna actually be just painting her legs, which only have like a fraction of an inch of area to be seen. Well, it may not be the most fashionable dark leather pants, but hey, how many options are there? I mean, really, you're in a world of you're wearing metal armor. You got to wear leather over it. You know, it's not the most fashionable area, right? I mean, if you're gonna wear armor like that, you kind of have to wear the clothes that are gonna keep you reasonably comfortable. Or leather armor, or you wear metal armor, you gotta have like leather underneath it to protect you from whatever the metal's gonna do to your skin. Tear it up, pinch it. You need protection. Metal's not designed for long-term wear, so you gotta have leather to protect. So maybe it's not always going to be fashionable. She's got her purple tunic on, so she can use that for her fashion. What kind of shoes do you wear? You don't wear tennis shoes. So are they leather shoes? Banging the camera again. Sorry about the shaking. I can't seem to keep my head out of the camera. It's not that camera I'm even hitting. I'm hitting the little arm that's holding the camera, but nonetheless, I'm sure it's annoying to have the camera shake. It's alright. It's not like I have anybody on here at the moment, but so what I'll probably do is stop the video and set it up to be, say, starting soon. It'll probably be about 20 minutes ish while I get everything out. And I don't know, I'll probably set up live, so I'll really set the scenario up live. This is a character who's very much part of her base. There's no cutting her off the base. Her feet are like in the base. You could not remove her feet from this base without destroying without destroying the base for sure, but probably without destroying the character. Because her feet would be you have to either figure out a way to get her feet disconnected without getting them cut off. So you'd have to cut into the base. It would not be a pretty sight. It probably would not go well. Sometimes you want to get them off. I'm just saying, because sometimes the goal is to, you try to get your figure off the base so you can rebase it and do something cool with it. You can't do that with this one, because she is very much a part of it. I mean, like her foot is halfway into the ground. I don't know, maybe it's because it's supposed to act like snow. It's supposed to be she's on snow. kind of feeling like her shoes should be silver, like her armor is. Oh, did I already paint these? They do look a little dark. I suppose I did, but for consistency's sake, let's paint them all the same. I don't know, she's got a lot of straps holding these spears on. Don't know how she gets them off. Certainly doesn't get them off in a hurry. Maybe that's why she's always getting beat by things, because it takes her too long to get her spears off. Or her banners. She's got a lot of them, but she's got some spears, some banners, javelins, or whatever you want to call these things. I don't know what this is. She's got some kind of a something sticking through her hair, but I don't know. That's one, two, and then whatever that pole thing is there, but I don't know what that is because her belt goes up around there. Yeah, I think some of this stuff was just kind of willy-nilly carved into her. Willy-nilly, I say. It's all very willy-nilly. Not Milli Vanilli, that's different, but willy-nilly. I'm not exactly sure the best way to paint her for the purposes of logic. Like, I don't know, is she wearing leather gloves? Brown leather gloves? Are they gauntlets? They do kind of look around like gauntlets, but it could be mittens, right? Brown leather mittens. They look kind of leathery. They seem to have more shape than a typical gauntlet would. At least this one does. Well, Adrian's getting closer. Closer and closer. Still needs to get her bottom of her legs done, but I may have to let that go. What time is it? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. I need to start planning for the next adventure of Adrian Royce. Of Adrian Royce and their friends. Adrian Royce and Co. And so, what I'm going to do here, to my usual, focus on the things that I did here. We'll get a little spotlight on them, just for the moment. Okay, so these are the guys I'm working on, and slowly but surely they get more and more paint on them each day. Eventually they'll all be fully colored, and we'll make some progress there. So I'm going to go ahead and log off and start setting up, and maybe grab myself a quick bite of lunch, because it'll be the only thing I eat between now and the time I leave for game night. So stay tuned, or come back, or whatever. I probably be 20-ish minutes before I start. Let's say 1:30, and then I have till 3:30. Ouch, it's gonna be kind of close. We'll see.